Okay, it's on. Peace, family. This is your boy Gerald, and it is the 4th of July, 2019. How is everybody doing? You're going to see this and you're going to be like, man, that's right. I want to show you something. It is not even 5 o'clock in the morning. Actually, my watch is fast. So it's 4:45. This morning I woke up at about 10 after 4. Started my day. Already left. Got some coffee. Well, got some coffee beans. Came back here. Made me a fresh pot. And I'm doing this to reach you. First and foremost, shout out to those who are celebrating this day with their family and loved one. Also those who have made the sacrifice of taking that oath, as well as those that are going to maximize this day to reconnect and connect to those that matter most. But you may be wondering, that's all fine and dandy, Gerald, but it's still 5 o'clock in the morning and you are up, and why? Well, family, these last 72 hours I've been in a lot of thought. A lot of things have gone on here, and that's caused me to ponder to the point that validation, sometimes you have to do things that require you to step out of your comfort zone to have a better perspective on your direction. And it wasn't even 48 hours ago I burned 1,000 miles, almost 1,000 miles. And while I was driving, you gotta work with me, fam, because I gotta go out to the Jeep and grab my cigarettes. I know my neighbors are gonna be like, what is he doing? Yeah, I love you too. Like I said, you gotta beat the sun up sometimes. This is what validates your steps, validates why you exist. It's not about the impact, it's about the definition, and the definition is you. The reason for it all. Yep, see? I beat the birds up. Sun's not out. But my mind, oh my mind, my spirit is on point. Now, bear with me. So, sorry. I'm gonna spin it. So, I spent 48 hours ago, I spent my whole day driving. And I did that because I needed clarity on a challenge that was going on in my personal life indirectly, but it still impacted me. And sometimes, family, we take our lives too serious. And sometimes we have to throttle back. And sometimes, family, we have to give ourselves permission to have better clarity on why you see what you see at that moment, or why you are faced with certain events that are going on, but require your attention. That's the human definition of being alive. What you're hearing in the background is I've got a hornet in my light. I'm gonna just spin it because you're gonna hear him in the background. But if you look back there, you see, there he is. But I'm gonna leave him alone. As soon as the sun come up, he'll be out of here. Just like a moth to a flame, attracted to the fire, like Janet said. It's attracted to the light. And that's the same thing I can use as an analogy for your life. Because normally no one is attracted to the darkness, the despair, the fear. We all want to be happy. And sometimes, because of conditions that are not in our control, circumstances that require you to really soul search. And I know people will say, well, yeah, that's a coined phrase. You know, you always hear people say soul search. But no, seriously, when you soul search, you are tapping into your vulnerabilities. You are weighing the pros and cons. You are assessing your weakness based off of your strengths. It is the ultimate requirement for you to be honest. This doesn't afford you room for deflection or denial. What demands is truth, transparency, and clarity. And this can be a pivotal moment, family, because this outcome can be very decisive that will change the trajectory of your life. Or it may open a door in your spirit so that you can see your foundation and find safety. Because when you really think about it, family, when you really think about it, isn't the end goal to be happy? Isn't that the pursuit of life? Is to be happy. But how much credit do we give ourselves? And I don't say this from an egotistical position. I'm saying this from a selfless life position. Just you. Just you. Because we tend to overlook the fact that all the events that occur, yes, the earth will continue to spin well after you are completed your lifeline, just as it did before you took your first breath. We can't change that. We are part of the experience. But if we know all that, what is keeping you from your happiness? Now, many people, just as I just posed that question, can point to it emotionally right there when I said it. It may be because of affiliation. It could be because of connection. It could be because of obligation. And it could also be based off of the sense of security or lack thereof. But it's there. And a lot of times people silently wrestle with that. They know. There's an inner knowing of what's required. Not what's wanted, what's required. So that woke me up out of my sleep, because I got a feeling there's somebody right now that on the outside, you seem to have it all together, don't you? But in the inside, you're at that last thread. Who am I talking to? And I'm not saying this to be condescending. I'm not saying this to mock your emotions or play with them. I'm saying this because I'm giving you love right now. You are checking off all your obligations, and you're putting on your best face. But behind closed doors, there's still a need, ain't it? There's still a tangible need and requirement that tends to be put on the side, put on the back burner. It's been a condition that you've come to know because you have allowed yourself to feel guilty if you choose to invest in you. Who am I talking to? So it's 4th of July. Now, on a lighter note, some of y'all, this is the best week ever, ain't it? Because you done turned around and parlayed your days off or your leave, and then you done worked it out, so now you got 4 days off. Who am I talking to? Who am I talking to? You know what I'm saying? And then you have some of us, just by circumstances, just so happen to happen that way. And let me correct myself. Let me pump my brakes, because nothing just so happens. Nothing does. Because just as a circle is complete, energy out is energy returned. And maybe your presence isn't because of the fact that it's not needed. Maybe there's something going on that you're being protected from. And when you go back to work, you're going to be like, I'm glad I wasn't in the mix of that. Who am I talking to? Maybe this is the time that you're going to finally rest. You're going to finally kick back. If you can't do it physically, but emotionally, you will. Maybe this is going to be the last symbolic holiday that you said that the behavior that you've had thus far before, you said that's it. You're going to take the road less traveled. You're going to do what's best for you. But be careful. Be careful. Make sure that whatever that choice is, it comes from a pure place. Not of a position of arrogance or, I don't know, I don't even like using the word vengeful spirit because it's negative. And the energy you put out will be the energy that will come back in some type of form by conflict or duress. It'll come back. You don't need that. You're better than that. So family first. My first intentions with this morning was to get up, stop at my local Wawa or 7-Eleven, go get some coffee. And I was going to go down to the ocean front. And I was going to put this video up. I was going to film it as I was down there. And, but I didn't want to do that. Because there's going to come time, family, I'm going to be down there. And you'll be seeing a lot of footage of that. And speaking of footage, as you already know, the goal is to have more freedom with my content. And to do so, family, YouTube has an obligation to every subscriber, every person that has a channel, that at a minimum you must have 1,000 subscribers. 1,000. So I'm getting a little headway now, slowly but surely, steady as a course. But family, I'm here to tell you, when I get there, there's so much I want to show you guys. There's so much I want for you guys to experience. Now I did say that where I go, you go. Because those who have been with me from the beginning, there are no words that I can convey how grateful, how humble I am. That not only do you get to see illustrations of pieces of me, but it allows me to connect to you. But I did say, on a lighter note, the moment I get to that point of 1,000 subscribers, to celebrate that, I was going to give a gift to the 3 subscribers, the last 3. Actually, the last 2. So 998, 999, 1,000, and then the 1,001st subscriber. I'm going to send you a gift. So when that happens, the moment it happens, I'm going to send you a direct message, because I'm going to need your address to send it. And I'll give you an option on what you would like out of the top 3 gifts that I'm going to give. And, it's my way of saying thank you, but it's also something that's tangible that you could use too. So I look forward to that. And then also, I said, when I get to that point, to celebrate that milestone, because I've been on YouTube, family, now over 6 years, and not one time have you saw, and I'm not saying this to be disrespectful to other YouTube platforms, but you've never heard me say donate. I'm a humble brother. I am. And I believe that what you put in with diligence and patience, the seeds you sow, you'll get your harvest. And I know that my channel is going to do that. I no doubt have that feeling. Now, in regards to the other channel, because some of y'all might not know, I have a channel called Journey of a Man, all in caps. And there's actually 3. There's one that has no thumbnail. It just has the title. There's no content on it. I reserved that just in case for future expansions of some stuff, because there's some things that I really want to do, but everything happens in due time. The Journey of the Man channel is all about wellness. It's all about health, mind, body, spirit. And I put a little bit of content on it, but for the most part, I've been hesitant to really partake on that channel because I don't want to be a hypocrite. Because I know some of you say, I've been to Journey on a Man channel, Gerald, your other channel, and I looked on there and it's been a couple months. And the reason for that is the fact that, because of this, because of these. I don't want to be a hypocrite. Because, not to knock people, you got some people, while this camera's rolling, they project one image and then you see them, and when it's off, they're totally different. I'm real. The same person that you see on this camera is the same person that's off of it. Only difference is the camera doesn't show you in true scale. Because if I've had people that have recognized me, and I was like, I didn't realize, because of my size, because I'm 6'2" and almost 6'3". I'm 240 pounds. I'm a pretty big guy. I'm pretty built, but I'm not where I need to be health wise because Gerald has not applied himself like he needs to. So Gerald got a little tummy. Yeah, I got a little tummy. Yeah, see, little tummy. But this summer is all about losing that 20 pounds, getting my health back to where it should be. Because 30 years of my life, I was a gym rat. That's all I knew. I was that guy that had that size 34 waist, rocking the 8-pack, the lats. I was a big guy. It's still me. I just, not to make excuses. That wasn't priority. Sorry, that wasn't priority. But I've come to learn through time that if your mind's not right, it's really a reflection of because your body's not either. It's tandem, family. This is the vehicle that's going to help you navigate through this realm we know as reality. Good, bad, or indifferent. So you have to take care of yourself as best as you know how. Now, with that being said, I am a walking contradiction times two, because if you were to look in my bathroom, my traits and behaviors are still what they are, because I've got nothing but vitamins that I take on a regular, like different types of vitamins, organic that is, and it kind of goes against this. So I'm not trying to make an excuse. I'm not, because everybody has vices, and you guys have seen me go through periods where I cut them out, brought them back, cut them out again. So, but I will say that this summer I'm divorcing this vice. By the end of the summer, I want to be running. I want to get back to running. I want to at least get to a point where I'm able to feel comfortable to run 5 miles. So I got to get on my stick. Plus, I can hear you guys through the screen. I laugh about it, When you gonna stop? When you gonna do this? You always show up the next, and that's the thing, family. I want to be able to take you guys wherever I go, because I plan on maximizing this summer. I'm the type of person that I've always been impromptu. I'm all about an opportunity, not an opportunist. But if I have an opportunity to discover something new, oh, it ain't nothing. That ain't nothing for me to jump in my vehicle and I'm gone. You know what I'm saying? I've always been that from as a little boy. I want to see what's on the other side of the hill. You know, that's about, that is the small, those are the little things that make the spice of life. Don't limit yourself to your environment. As long as you don't hurt yourself and don't hurt others, allow yourself to expand. Allow yourself to do that. You don't need no one's permission to be you. Nobody. Now, with that being said, how's your summer going thus far? I mean, today is 4th of July. Some of you are going to spend time with family and friends. You're going to celebrate that by partaking in the festivities, even if it just means breaking bread. Make sure that it's safe. Now, on the flip side, because you knew it was coming, you guys got to be smart. You guys got to be mindful of this too. Some of you are going to go through some upheavals today. And what do you mean by upheavals, Gerald? Some of you guys are going to indirectly be caught up in some drama. And it ain't got nothing to do with you at all. And you're saying, well, how so? Because some people, because it's the holiday, it will trigger some undue rest. Some people, because like symbology wise, it's 4th of July, right? What's 4th of July supposed to be? Independence Day, right? What's the main descriptive of Independence Day? Fireworks. And just like a firework, you can see it, you can ignite it, but you don't know when it's going to explode. But the triggers will always be there. It's just a matter of time when it ignites. And some people will take today and use this day as a moment to unload. It may have been something that was going on that they had been harboring about. And they felt that this is the appropriate time to unload. And it may be just because of the person that's the audience. It ain't got nothing to do with you. But because you were there, you made them feel a certain kind of way. Now, maybe it's fear. Maybe it's envy. Maybe it's just bottom line, being stagnant, and they miserable. And they want to project that on anybody that they can. Be mindful of that, family. Be mindful of that. Now, it doesn't mean, I'm not saying walk on pins and needles or feel like that you gotta walk on eggshells around certain people. But if you know certain triggers and certain traits of behaviors of certain people when you're in the midst of them, you're going to have to be a little strategic. Because that might be an agenda just to discredit you. I'll break this down a little more. You may be that person that you've been sowing them seeds. You've been doing everything you're supposed to do for your life. You've even allowed yourself to communicate. You've actually expressed yourself to share. Maybe examples or, just the little things. Each one teach one, right? That's what we're here for. Each one teach one. But because of the fact that you are living that example, they feel a certain kind of way. And maybe that fear of growth has them threatened. And they realize that you're going to be at a threshold of your life that they're going to get left behind. There's nothing they can do. So there's some animosity there. This could be family members. This could be friends, which is a contradiction, because if they're your friends, shouldn't your friends be the example of your state of mind? Because they should already be doing the work as well. And if they love you, why would they put you in harm's way to begin with? And that may be a reality check for somebody today. Who am I talking to? These people are reaching out to you. You ain't talked to them in a minute. You like to hear their voice. But you feel a certain kind of way when you hear them. Things don't add up right now. And that's your intuition telling you, hey, look here, be mindful of your environment and the people that you allow in it. Be mindful of that. Now, I'm not saying walk around always looking over your shoulder. I didn't say that. But I did say be mindful of your environment. That's a responsibility each and every person that is on this planet is obligated to do. One, because it's about your self-worth. It's about your safety. Now, let's talk about safety. Unless you've been disconnected from your environment, that you're not aware, but there is a narrative of severe narcissism and a celebration of being condescending, because it is the social accepted behavior. And it's all about trying to knock you off your foundation to get the reaction out of you. You see this time and time again for those who, if you're out there driving, look at your environment. Look at it. Does it surprise you? I spoke on this beginning of the year. Just look back during Moss.